You're like a brother to me now. We never should have dated, she told me while living off me. So I moved out and let her handle adult life alone. Now she wants to date her brother again, but I'm not interested anymore. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. 3 years with Sarah, and I thought we were building something real. I was wrong. The first crack showed up around month 18. We were at dinner with her co-workers when someone asked how we met. Instead of the usual story, Sarah said, Jake kind of rescued me from my terrible roommate situation. Not, we fell for each other. Not, he swept me off my feet. I rescued her from bad housing. Should have paid attention to that. By year 2, she'd stopped reaching for my hand in public. Stopped posting photos of us together. Started introducing me as this is Jake, instead of this is my boyfriend Jake. When I brought it up, she'd say she wasn't big on labels anymore, but she was still big on my credit card paying for our dates. I started noticing other things too. How she'd ask me to handle anything remotely administrative, talking to the landlord, dealing with insurance, calling repair services. How she'd raid my closet for hoodies when hers were dirty. How she'd finish my leftovers without asking, then get annoyed when I did the same to hers. That was my lunch for tomorrow, she'd say, like I was supposed to keep track of her meal planning. The final straw came on a Tuesday. I got home early and heard her on the phone in our bedroom, getting ready for some work event. You know what's funny? She was saying to whoever was listening. Emma asked if we were still together, and I was like, it's complicated. We're more like roommates now. Like siblings who happen to live together. Siblings. I walked into the room. Roommates. She didn't even look embarrassed. Come on, you know what I mean. We're comfortable. When's the last time we, it's not natural anymore. We share a bed, Sarah. Barely. She grabbed her purse. Don't wait up. After she left, I did some math. Rent. I paid 70%. Utilities, me. Groceries, me. Her car payment. Our joint account, funded by me. Her phone bill. Still on my plan from when she was between jobs 2 years ago. If we were siblings, I was a very generous brother. 2 weeks later, I heard her on another call. Honestly, we were never really that compatible romantically. I think we both just settled because it was convenient. I mean, he's sweet, but there was never real chemistry. Never real chemistry. I remembered our first 6 months. She used to drag me to bed on Sunday mornings, send me photos of random things that reminded her of me, text me constantly when we were apart. Had I imagined all that? I keep thinking we should have just stayed friends, she continued. Would have saved us both the awkwardness. That night, she came home talking about Marcus from work. How funny he was. How he got her sense of humor. How they were thinking about grabbing drinks sometime. As friends, she added quickly. Right. I started paying closer attention to her work stories. Marcus came up a lot. So did after-work drinks, team lunches that ran late, weekend networking events she needed to attend alone. You wouldn't enjoy it, she'd say. It's all industry stuff. But she'd come home glowing, talking about how great the conversations were, how inspiring her colleagues were, how much she was learning about herself. The breaking point was her company holiday party. She invited me as her +1, and I thought maybe she still saw us as a couple, at least publicly. Wrong again. This is Jake, we live together, she told her co-workers. Later, I watched her explain to Marcus, tall, gym-built, probably spent more on his haircut than I did on groceries, that we were basically just friends at this point and figuring out the transition. Marcus looked relieved. Must be awkward living with an ex. Ex? I said. Sarah jumped in. We're not exes, exactly. More like, we're transitioning. I spent the rest of the party watching her. She laughed louder at Marcus's jokes than she had at mine in months. She touched his arm when she talked. She looked at him the way she used to look at me. On the drive home, I asked, so we're exes now? Don't be dramatic. Look, we both know this isn't working romantically. We're basically just comfortable with each other. Like really good friends who split rent. What about the last 3 years? We gave it a shot. Sometimes things evolve. Like our relationship had naturally progressed from romance to a financial arrangement with shared Netflix access. So what happens now? I asked. We figure it out. Can't we just see where things go without putting labels on everything? But she had put labels on it. To Marcus, to her co-workers, to whoever was on those phone calls. The label was not really together and just friends and basically roommates. I was the only one who didn't seem to know what we were. That week, I started making calls. Utility companies, streaming services, phone company. Not canceling anything, just switching everything to my name only and removing her access. I also started looking for apartments. Sarah didn't notice the changes right away. She was too busy with her newfound social life. More work events, more after-work drinks, more conversations about Marcus and how mature they were about keeping things professional. Then her phone got shut off. "What happened to my service?" she asked, staring at her dead phone. "I switched you to your own plan," I said. Seemed like the adult thing to do. "But I don't have time to deal with phone companies right now. Work is crazy. You'll figure it out." She stared at me like I'd spoken a foreign language. Since when did I make her handle her own administrative tasks? The next week, the streaming services stopped working. "Netflix isn't loading," she called from the living room. I canceled the shared account. "You can get your own." "Jake, what's going on with you? You're being weird." Weird. Like expecting my roommate to handle her own bills was some kind of personality disorder. That weekend, while Sarah was at her gallery opening with Marcus, I moved out. Professional movers, everything. I took what I'd paid for, which was most of our furniture, and left my key on the counter with a note. Transitioned out. "Jake," she called Sunday morning, panicked. "What the hell, Jake? Where's all your stuff?" "I moved out. Like you said, we're just friends. You can't just leave. We have a lease. Your name's on it too." "This is insane. We need to talk about this like adults. Adults pay their own bills. Where are you living?" "I found a place." "This is crazy. You can't just abandon me like this." "Abandon? Interesting word choice. I'm not abandoning you, Sarah. Friends move out all the time. We're not just friends and you know it. According to you, we're exactly just friends. I'm taking you at your word." She started crying. "That's not what I meant." "It's exactly what you meant. You told Marcus we weren't together. You told your coworkers we were figuring out a transition. You got your transition. Jake, please. Can we just talk about this?" "About what?" "You made it clear we were never really compatible." "I'm just agreeing with you." I hung up. Over the next month, the updates trickled in through mutual friends. Sarah couldn't afford the apartment alone. She'd asked Marcus to move in, but he wasn't interested in that level of commitment. Turned out he just wanted something casual with a coworker, not a whole relationship situation. She tried getting other roommates, but the apartment was expensive and she'd already committed to lease terms I'd negotiated. After 2 months of struggling, she had to move back in with her parents. Emma mentioned that Sarah's work performance had started slipping too. All those after-work social events were affecting her productivity, and her boss had noticed. Marcus had started dating someone else in the office, someone who was actually single and available, and Sarah was taking it harder than she'd expected. Then the text started. "I miss our friendship. I think I made a mistake. Can we grab coffee?" When I didn't respond, they escalated. "Jake, please. I know I hurt you, but we were good together. I've been thinking about us and I realize I was confused about what I wanted. Can we please just talk? I miss you." I deleted them all. The calls came next, with increasingly desperate voicemails. "I know you're mad at me, but this is silly. We were together for 3 years. That has to count for something. I talked to Emma, and she made me realize I was taking you for granted. I want to fix this. Jake, I'm sorry, okay? I was stupid. Can we please just meet up?" I deleted those too. Finally, she showed up at my apartment on a Saturday morning with coffee and bagels, like we were still together. "We need to talk." "No." She pushed past me into my apartment. "I've had time to think, and I miss what we had." "What did we have?" "We were good together. We balanced each other out. As roommates. As partners. Partners don't tell people they were never really dating." I was confused. I was scared of commitment, and I said stupid things. "You weren't scared of my commitment to your rent payments." Her face fell. "That's not fair. You wanted to explore your options while keeping me as a backup plan. You wanted the benefits of a relationship without the commitment. That's not what I wanted. Then what did you want?" She was quiet for a moment. "I wanted to have my cake and eat it too. I wanted the security of what we had and the excitement of something new." At least she was being honest. "You know what's funny?" I said. "If you just told me you were having doubts 6 months ago, we could have worked on it or ended things cleanly. But you chose to rewrite our history while living off my income. I can be better. With someone else." Jake, please. I love you. You love having someone reliable to fall back on. That's not true. When's my birthday? She opened her mouth, then closed it. What's my favorite movie? What I want to do with my life? What makes me happy? She was crying now, but I felt nothing. You don't know, because you never asked. I was just the guy who handled the boring stuff so you could focus on the fun stuff. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Multiple choices. Now I'm making mine. 3 years, and you're just done. You were done months ago. You just wanted to keep the benefits while you figured out what came next. I need you to leave. She stood up slowly. So that's it. That's it. After she left, I sat in my quiet apartment and felt relieved. Not vindicated or satisfied, just relieved. Like I'd finally closed a chapter that should have ended months ago. 6 weeks later, I ran into her at a downtown restaurant. I was with Lisa, someone I'd met at a work conference who actually seemed interested in getting to know me as a person. Sarah was alone at the bar, looking like she'd been stood up. She walked over when she spotted me. Jake, I've been trying to reach you. Sarah, I said. This is Lisa. Lisa, this is Sarah. We used to be roommates. Sarah's face went white. Roommates? Jake, come on. Actually, we were never really together. Just friends who happened to live together, right? That's not what I meant, and you know it. I know exactly what you meant. You meant it right up until you needed someone to split the rent. Lisa was looking back and forth between us, clearly picking up on the tension. Sarah's voice got smaller. Can we talk privately? I stood to leave. You wanted us to be friends who happened to live together. Now we're not even that. Enjoy figuring out adult life on your own. As we walked away, she called after us. We were together for 3 years. I didn't turn around. Later that night, Lisa asked me about Sarah while we were having wine at my place. She seemed pretty upset. She was upset that her backup plan isn't available anymore. Backup plan. I told Lisa the story, how Sarah had rewritten our relationship history, how she'd treated me like a convenient roommate while exploring other options, how she'd only wanted me back when her other choices didn't work out. That's awful, Lisa said. She really told people you were never compatible. While living off my income, yeah. And now she wants you back. Now she wants her safety net back. Lisa was quiet for a moment. Do you miss her? I thought about it. Did I miss Sarah? Did I miss the good times we'd had in our first year together? I miss who I thought she was, I said finally. But that person might not have ever existed. What do you mean? I thought she valued what we built together. But maybe I was just seeing what I wanted to see. Lisa nodded. Sometimes we love people for who they could be, not who they are. Yeah. And sometimes people show you exactly who they are, and you just don't want to believe it. 3 months later, Emma told me Sarah had moved to another city for a fresh start. Things had gotten awkward at work after the Marcus situation, and she wanted a clean slate. She asked me to give you her new number, Emma said. In case you ever wanted to talk. I'm good, thanks. She said to tell you she's learned a lot about herself. I'm happy for her. And I was. Not happy that things had gone badly for her, but happy that she was taking responsibility for her choices and trying to grow from them. As for me, Lisa and I have been together 8 months now. She asks about my day, remembers what I tell her, contributes equally to shared expenses when we travel together. She introduces me as her boyfriend without hesitation. Most importantly, she sees me as a person, not a function. Sometimes I think about Sarah and wonder if she found what she was looking for. But mostly, I don't think about her at all. I learned something. When someone shows you how little they value you, believe them the first time. Don't wait around for them to figure out your worth. Sarah was right about one thing. We weren't compatible. I was looking for a partner. She was looking for a sponsor with benefits. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.